Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today is Friday, July 10th. Thank God it's Pod Day, and welcome to the legal episode, Can't Stop Playing, number 18. I'm your host, Zach Ostrobo, and joining me is my partner in crime, Gabby Gabe.
Gabby Gabe. That's me now. Yeah. Hi!
How's
Max,
it going?
We got to scold Max when he comes back, because he's out loitering and drinking, whatever 18-year-olds do. I know people keeps they ask, they're like, since when did you equate your age with whatever week you're on the podcast? A long time ago, since episode 1.
Yeah, since we've been doing this for a while, maybe you haven't been aware of it. Kids are a strange thing, man. When they grow up day by day, you don't see it, and before you know it, they're like a 60-year-old man, and they're spitting their teeth out, and they can't even go to the bathroom by themselves anymore. But
Yep.
when it's happening right in front of you, it doesn't seem like anything. So we went 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, and here we are, 18, and still kicking somehow.
Yeah. What we should do is next week we should record episode 25. And then,
Okay.
when it's actually episode 25, we'll record episode 19. This is revolutionary stuff going on right now in my mind.
What is the explanation for that? How does this logic play out in your head?
Well, we can lie to them. We can lie to everyone and say, hey, there's like this big reason. Lost did this for years. I don't know if you remember that TV show. So we can tell them, like, hey, there's a really good explanation for this. Just wait. We're going to answer all your questions. And then we just do it again a couple more times. We just flip episodes around. Like,
Okay.
we'll record episode 25 on the week that it's episode 23 and vice versa. And everybody's going to be wondering, why are you doing this? And we're going to say the answer's coming. And people are going to start guessing, right? And we'll take, like, whatever guess we think sounds best. We'll just take that one and say it was that one all along.
Right. So you just roll with the audience's supposition rather than creating your own storyline.
Exactly. We're going to let the audience write this for us, and they're not even going to know it.
Man, Gabe, you're getting real deep on me here.
Yeah?
Man, I usually feel like when we have these two-man episodes, like things get pretty serious pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like
we
have a special celestial connection that I think only the gods could explain. But thank you for explaining why you like the podcast. We do appreciate all the reviews that are coming in. We're going to run the contest for one more week. So next episode 19, when we've dealt with, being an adult, we're going to be responsible like an adult and announce the winner. So one more week, leave a review, and you can be entered to win a brand new next-gen console. Go on iTunes, download the podcast, subscribe, review it, whatever you want. 1 star, 3 star, 5 star. Find a way to squeeze a 6th in there, and we'll love you forever. I am in my safe house in Calabasas right now.
Yeah.
Drake is showering over there.
Yeah.
And I think the Kardashians live over that way.
Yeah.
That's what Calabasas is all about.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I got to say to all of this.
I'm in San Diego for Comic-Con. That's hence the crappy cam, hence the weird hotel room bed sheets, and hence the sideways microphone setup du jour.
I love how like your pillow's just like halfway up like the headboard. Like it makes it seem
was a
like
rough night, man.
You're just sleeping in an awkward position.
I never understand hotels. I don't know how most people do beds, but I have one pillow, and then I usually have a second pillow just to make it feel like there's an imaginary ghost sleeping next to me. But like hotels, when they give like the 4 or 6 pillow look, like I don't know how to handle that. I don't know how to approach that. I don't know where you're supposed to put them because
throw them on the floor, like literally.
But what is the intention? Like, what is the real meaning of this?
Well, I think what they do is 2 different kind of pillows. One's softer than the other one.
Okay.
So that like some people prefer firmer pillows, some people prefer softer pillows. So if they just give you like one type of pillow, yeah, like it's hard to sleep. If you're used to a certain other type. So they give you like 4. They give you that really big one. You know what I mean? And it's usually like super soft. And if you're into soft pillows, you can use that one. And then they also give you those smaller ones that are a little bit more firm. At least that's what I thought it is. I could be totally
little
wrong.
feather fluff, a little bit of firm fun. You gotta have a little bit of both, right?
If you work at a hotel, let us know why. Right into can'tstopasking@gmail.com and let us know why so many pillows.
Please. Today we don't have a whole lot of new games to talk about because the game industry is taking a nap, but we do have a bunch of your emails, and I saw a horror movie last night. First one I've ever seen in theaters. And
What? Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. First horror movie I've ever seen, period. Ever.
Well,
I don't do... Have you seen me play like Slender or Outlast or any of these games?
I've seen it, but I don't know how. I don't know how much of it is
100% real.
Oh, all right.
What the hell? I don't do well with jump scares. And
so what people fake is actually you in real life.
Yes. Although I was like literally like terrified for this movie. I thought I was gonna bail on it like 15 minutes in. It was The Gallows. I sat on the floor, which made things just oh so classy because I was late. And it was I was surprised it was packed, but this is basically like a found footage. A bunch of high school kids go to the high school at night and then get attacked by like a executioner from a play that the school did. I don't know.
You said it was zombies.
No, it was, well, they kind of turned to zombie. It was like legit like the dumbest movie I've ever seen in my life. The only reason it was scary was because it was so loud. I don't know. What's the point of like making these things so loud? I turned to the girl next to me. I'm like, dang, this is so loud. And she's like, you sound like my grandpa. And I was like...
Hashtag sponsored.
Yeah, pretty much. But it was not good. And it legit, like, it was filmed, like, it felt like a made-for-TV movie. But apparently it had like a very low budget, so I don't know what slack you cut them there.
As they all do, because those Paranormal Activity movies, crazy low budget. The first couple Saw movies, super low budget.
Yeah, but those are still filmed in a way that makes them look cinematic. This was filmed like it was...
Whoa. The first Paranormal Activity, it literally looks like it was filmed with like a webcam.
Oh, does it? Okay, yeah. Well then that's what basically this was, and it was so cheesy, and I wish I could just reenact the whole thing for you. These kids are in this school, and this kid has a crush on this girl, and then they're get killed off one by one as they do. Every time they set the camera down, then a jump scare happens. Oh, they got real classy and clever because the video camera died that they were carrying, of course. So then they had to turn on night vision because he downloaded a night vision app on his phone to make things real intense. So you were flipping back and forth between like night vision cam on his iPhone and like regular. And then they also had like a red camera, which I don't even know what filter that was. Like, just when you want
infrared.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Predator vision. Hey,
Yeah.
I did play Predator. I can talk about that. That's new. In Mortal Kombat X, and he is freaking amazing. He's way better than Tanya or Jason. Fast, fun, and he makes a growl that sounds like a mix between a frog and a T-Rex. So I'm all about that.
A frog Rex.
Frog Rex, yeah.
Or a T-Frog, whatever you prefer.
T-Frog. That makes me think of Crazy Frog. You know that like animation from years ago that was like so popular?
I remember it, yeah.
Oh, that takes me back to a weird era.
Okay, we go on too many tangents, but the Gallows. Lucy likes horror movies. I am so glad she hasn't mentioned this one. Like,
yes, don't.
Anytime she sees a trailer for some shit, she's like, oh, I want to see that. I'm like, all right.
Don't see a trailer for this. It's literally a guy with a bag over his head chasing kids in a school, and usually he doesn't even appear. Usually they just get like sucked into oblivion. I don't know.
Because the first couple Paranormal Activity movies, I actually like those. Like, they're not my favorite movies, but as far as a movie I got to get dragged to the theater by wifey just to see, like, whatever, I'm cool with it. I'd much rather watch that than some other stuff that I see.
Magic Mike?
Yeah, I don't want to see Magic Mike. She's been wanting to go see it. I'm like, not till we see Ant-Man.
You gotta bite the bullet and go see Magic Mike.
I'm not biting anything.
Bite some ketchup packets.
Oh, hell no. That's
Predator.
like one of my worst fears in the world. But I will say this about horror movies: like, there's been some really good ones. I'm still on
really.
The Conjuring was cool. I like The Conjuring a lot. Did you see that?
I've never seen a horror movie. I don't get the appeal. Why would you want to go and make your like heart race and possibly burst out of your chest?
Well, not everyone has that reaction. I don't have those reactions.
The scariest part of the movie, though, was the security guard dropping his camcorder right next to me. That was the loudest, scariest thing. They were recording the audience, which I thought was really funny. Yeah. And it looked really awkward, like dudes in suits with like camcorders. I don't know.
So, man, all right. So next time we meet up, so whatever event we go to next, I'm bringing like a Blu-ray of The Exorcist or something. We're just
no.
Why not?
Are we gonna record this live? Do you want to like embarrass me in front of everyone?
No. Hey, you're always talking about making ketchup videos that go viral. This is gonna go viral.
Here's how I played it off in the theater. I was like, I did a lot of those yawns, did a lot of like rubbing my face, rubbing my eyes, so I didn't have to look. It wasn't even scary, but I was afraid it was gonna be scary. Like,
all right, we're gonna address this, Zachary. I'm gonna take some crazy movies next. We're gonna have a movie night. Just
PAX Prime.
We'll cuddle up in a bed together and we'll watch these movies. It'll be amazing.
Little body love.
Yeah, body love. All right, we can move on from the movies.
Predator. He's really cool. He's really fast. He has an attack that regenerates health, which I like. He makes cool noises, and he's totally worth adding to the game. I still really like that game. It's one that we've almost glossed over in our like game of the half year show, but it's really I
think that's how any fighting game would go though. Like it's
not Street Fighter 5. You would have talked about that for days if that was out.
Be quiet. I don't know why you're hating. But no, Street Fighter. Not Street Fighter. Street Fighter is also very cool. The beta's coming. The 23rd, I believe.
Yeah, end of July.
July. 23rd. Yeah. So pre-order to get in that. But meanwhile, go play the Predator stuff. I haven't downloaded. I just gotta play it. I've been slacking so much. I'm playing games. I'm doing real life stuff. I don't know.
Oh, like what kind of real life stuff is going on in Texas right now?
Right now, we're running those basketball courts almost daily. We're gonna go again today. We had the best man. We had the best time the other day, Zachary. This guy was talking crap. Because, like, we won, like 3 games, and this guy's like, oh, man, why are these guys beating you? And, you know, these guys suck. And I'm like, all right, whatever. He had next. He comes on the court, and he's taking me because I had actually been doing very well. I was posting up everyone because I was playing against, like, some smaller dudes. I don't know why they thought they wanted to be on me. So I was posting them up. I was doing my little Tim Duncan every once in a while. I hate the Spurs, by the way. But dude gets on me. And I'm just basically going to town on him the other time. I'm being fed, Zachary. I'm a monster. I'm just being fed.
Gotta keep that food in that system.
Yeah, and it was magic, man. We won like 6 games. Like,
what's your street ball name? What is your on court persona?
Gabe.
Just Gabe.
Yeah, it's super similar to what you're seeing right now.
Oh man,
almost exactly the same as what you're seeing right now.
Although you tell me.
I get it. It's aggressive though. It's aggressive.
You tell me that you get in this mode when you're out there that I've never seen before.
Well, you know, you've heard the things I've told. You know, I have a little brother I take with me, right? He's 15. Right. So when somebody, like my little brother, he's learning. He's not out on the courts all the time. So, and he's left-handed, so, you know, he already has a little bit of thing. He can only go left. He can't dribble with his right very well. He can't do right-handed layups. He's not there yet, but he's good with his left. So when people start saying stuff to him, like, oh man, like, he can't go left. My little brother can't defend himself. Or my little brother scored on one of his friends, and the guy told him, "Hey, don't get all wet. It was just 1 point," and you know, in a super mean way. So then I come in and there's aggression, Zachary. There's aggression that I don't think you've seen in me.
I haven't.
Like I'm not going and hurting anyone, but you know, you raise your voice a little bit. You get in front of them. Just make sure that it doesn't go all the way by taking it close to all the way yourself. You know what I mean?
You don't want to let that Hulk come out. You got to keep it contained.
No, man, I'm not even the danger. Really, like I'm not dangerous, but everyone else at that park is. It's crazy.
Everyone else is dangerous?
Not everyone, but there's a couple people that if they see something like, for lack of a better word, pop off, as they say it, you know, it's gonna be a mini mosh pit. Like, you know, we're avoiding that. I've seen a fight maybe like 3 times, like in 10 years of playing at these parks. So sure. It doesn't ever really happen, but it's always super close to happening, which is amazing. But
I feel like great. I would just use my fast walking to get the heck out of there.
Nah, Zachary, you don't want that. No,
why?
You gotta. I was telling my friend Matthew about this. He's 5'5", 5'4", around there. The one I told you, he's 5'4", and he could dunk. Mm-hmm. He almost dunked yesterday too, which he never does during the game because, you know, he's 5'4". It's hard for him to actually dunk on people. Right. But he was on a fast break, like completely just, you know, he was being a snowbird basically, and got him the ball. He almost dunked it, but he decided not to. I was telling him about you, and at the time we were playing basketball, he's like, you should bring him out here. I'm like, I don't know how Zach would act out here, but I told him that is a goal of mine. One day, I want to bring Zachary out here just to see how he behaves in this environment.
I would just shoot threes and keep my mouth shut. And...
Oh no, no, you'd be totally fine. Like, there would be no issue. It's just other people having issues. Yeah. I'm just curious how you would react to it, because I
probably say nothing or get really nervous.
We're gonna bring you out here, man. We are. It's gonna be awesome.
I was going to Whole Foods yesterday, and there was a dude promoting something outside Whole Foods like they do, and he was like, because you always tell me I walk fast. Everyone says that, and I don't think I do. And he was like, hello, Mr. Really Fast Walker. And, like, I think he thought that was, like, a clever way to get me to, like, stop and check out his wares or whatever. And I was just like, hi. And I just, like, walked past him. But, like, I don't think I walk fast, but it's a good, like, secret skill to have in case I need to slip out of that basketball court real quick.
Yeah. No, and you know, and I've told you this, but just for anyone listening, I don't live in the ghetto or nothing. Like, I'm not, like, in danger. Like, I actually live in the suburbs. I just like going to those courts just because there's more competition and stuff like that. I could easily go to, like, you know, really white neighborhood, but, you know, I don't want to play basketball with them. I want to go play with the other people.
Yeah, let us know where you play basketball for your daily competition in the comments below. And we'll move to some more on-topic things. I'm at Comic-Con this week. I'm going to be playing and recording Battleborn in a few hours, which should be fun. Checking out some Nintendo stuff, some Microsoft stuff, more Black Ops 3. They're revealing zombies today. A couple quick news pieces. $200 Mirror's Edge Catalyst Collector's Edition. You get a 14-inch Faith statue, which is cool. You get a collector's box, and you get temporary tattoos so you can look like Faith for $200.
For 200 boxes.
$200. Sorry, that came out really weird. 200 boxes. A box of that's man. You don't know the that's the new California lingo I've been learning out here. 200 box.
So you're gonna start just saying hella all the time?
Yeah,
that's wicked. Hella. That's hella box, man.
Man, Predator is such a wicked character.
Yeah. Those temporary tattoos. I was just telling Zachary, this thing's $200, right? So it's not like kids are gonna go out. And this is Mirror's Edge. Like this isn't like Minecraft or anything. So this is like 30-year-old men buying this. Like how many of them are actually gonna rock those like temporary tattoos?
I'm rocking it for the podcast. You will see them on camera. I don't know why it's 200 though. That seems insanely overpriced.
I mean, depending on the quality of the, because it's 14 inches, right? Depending on the quality of the statue, like
yeah,
it's
it
really
better be
quality.
like a metal hand painted statue or something, or marble or onyx.
Because some of those Hot Toys or whatever, they're like $200 something, and they're not made out of metal.
Okay, well I hope Faith winks at you at least or something. Like there needs to be a special feature. Like okay, the Batman statue that comes with the Arkham Knight limited edition is total crap.
Yeah, I saw.
It's just not cool. I don't think.
It's like they just forgot to color them.
Yeah, and the plastic it's made out of feels like it's just gonna like crumble at any moment. There's also a Black Ops 3 Colors edition with a mini fridge.
Yeah, well, that's a leak. That's not even announced. Like that's just people.
I'm sure it's gonna get announced today because they're doing the whole zombies reveal. But yeah, and then there was also a Just Cause 3 Collector's Edition announced with a replica. What do you call it? Replica. What is that thing called?
The
grappling hook. Yeah.
Yeah. We got to make a video. We got to make a video of the 5 worst collector's edition of 2015 because there's a lot of bad ones.
I think they're all like lately. They're all the worst. I feel like we don't get anything cool anymore.
I thought the Mortal Kombat one was cool. Scorpion.
Yes, that statue is pretty nice, and it's a well-made statue.
Yeah.
But well, Mirror's Edge is made by Triforce. They typically do good stuff.
Yeah.
The statue is pretty complex. If you haven't seen it, it's got Faith as an adult and Faith as a kid, which is awkward. And then they're like sitting on a box, and then there's like a glass wall between them, and you get some lithographs. Man, they should give you parkour lessons, like a Groupon for parkour.
I'll take that.
That's what should come.
Wait, let me do parkour like in a year. I can't do it now, but let me do it like in a year. We're getting there. I don't know, man. Give me a steel book, give me an art book, and give me a statue. That's all. Like, keep all that other lame stuff. Like, give me endgame stuff, I suppose, but temporary tattoos, no one wants that, man.
Yeah, the Just Cause 3 one is 110, and you get a giant poster map, you get the game, you get an art book, and you get a replica grappling hook that's 15 inches, and for $90 less.
Give me a real grappling hook so I can just go around the city.
How much is the fridge? The mini fridge is like...
I don't know what they've said.
Maybe since it's not officially announced. All right, let's get into some emails here. Can't stop asking at gmail.com. You guys have a lot this week, and that was the intention. So thanks for coming through in the clutch for us. Before we get started, did you play Rocket League by any chance?
No, I wanted to.
Okay, so we got to get on that. Yeah.
You never text me about it.
Well, PSN was down. I don't know if you noticed, but PSN went down
that
day.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
so I couldn't get it before I left for San Diego.
I was about to make it a thing that me and you and Scotty Too Hottie.
We'll play when I get back for sure.
Yeah, and we made a date, but then PSN shut it down, I guess.
Yeah, I had like everything ready. I had a brooch even ready to wear.
Oh, damn! Man. I got to get on your level, man. Like I feel like I'm just down here. And
that
like,
Ghost Robo charm.
Yeah.
Manny writes in charming us. He says, "Hola mis amigos, ¿cómo estás? You guys are amazing. I have a question for y'all. My birthday."
He's from Texas. Yeah.
My birthday. Can't even speak anymore.
My bear day.
I'm telling you, that Gallows movie. The door keeps opening. What is going on? I don't know if you can hear this, but I swear, the lock mechanism keeps like clicking. I woke up and the drawers of the like little cabinet were all open, and I did not open them.
Fine, I'll admit it. I snuck in to one of your suitcases. I'm there. I'm opening all these doors. Wow. Yeah, I'm like on the room next to you, and when you were sleeping, I just snuck in and I started messing with you. I'm sorry, not with you, like physically. I started opening the
physical messing. I mean, I'm all for body love, Gabe, but I need at least we have to have consent. I know I'm 18 now. We're 18. People get a little frisky.
Right. You're right.
Manny says my birthday is Thursday, so I want to. Manny says my birthday is Thursday. Okay, we have a weird delay where like you're hearing me like 10 seconds later than I'm saying things, which is awesome. So I hope that corrects itself.
Yeah.
The internet here is not the most beautiful. The harbor, though, man, that's a date spot. Manny says, my birthday is Thursday, so I want to ask if you guys have ever gotten a cool video game for your birthday. This is interesting to me because my parents just bought me an Xbox One, so now I can communicate with my brother and friends. Video games have always been a part of my life, from Kirby, Gears of War, more and more. So have you guys ever had a cool video game birthday experience? Thanks so much. Keep being a fan, flipping-tastic.
I wonder how old he is.
I mean, he played Kirby, Gears of War, and he's getting an Xbox One, so at least 10.
Right? at least 10, yeah, because Gears...
Gears of War 1 came out in like 2005? 2006?
Maybe. I don't know.
6, because the Xbox 360 launched in 5. Any birthday game stories from you?
Zero. I've never gotten a game for my birthday. I mean, I got a lot of games growing up, but it was never like a birthday thing. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, I never... Oh, go ahead.
My best is like when I was 10 years old, I really wanted an N64. We had gotten an N64 at launch. My mom's brother, my uncle, as he's known, his friend worked at Best Buy, and so hooked us up with an OG N64 with Pilot Wings and Mario 64. And then my mom returned it because me and Jake were playing it too much.
Oh.
So I really, a year later...
I blame Jake, don't worry.
Yeah, he was like 4 at the time, so...
Yeah, it was all his fault.
That damn kid. Yeah. So I really wanted the see-through green DK64 bundle for my birthday. And it was one of those things where like I just mentioned it over and over and over again, and then I got it, and it was like a glorious moment, and I played DK64, which is not a very good game, but it was just like one of those amazing moments. And what made it even better was a few years prior, at Christmas time, my cousin got a Super Nintendo, and I thought I was going to get one as well, like that same day, and they were at our house, and I didn't. So like I had a bunch of like pent up sadness, and so this N64, like, it just...
That's the worst feeling though. Like I've had one of those. Like I think like one of the very first time like that I've ever like got together with family. I didn't even know this family. I was told they were family. I don't even still know who they are, but I suppose it was like a cousin or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And they opened up and they got like a PlayStation, like a PS1. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna get one of those too, probably. I didn't. I don't even.
Dang. Yeah, that's awful. While we're on the topic, like cool Christmas story, I didn't have a PS1, so this is post N64, pre me getting a PS1, and I had asked for a PS1, but if not, I had asked for NFL Blitz for the PC.
Yes.
And I opened up NFL Blitz for the PS1 for my grandma, and I was like, I didn't know what to say because I was like, oh, thanks so much, but grandma, like, I can't play this. I have no use for this. And so I felt really bad. So I was just like smiling, like fake smiling, like, thanks. Even though inside I was like, God, like, this is the worst. Like, not only do I not have a PS1, but I know this game. And then I opened the PS1 later and it was like, victory. I got NFL Blitz and I got Croc, Legend of the Gobos. I don't know if you've ever seen that game. But,
no. I love NFL Blitz, though. Love that. It's good stuff.
Blitz is my jam. Grant Ramirez writes in. He's a longtime listener. He's written in before with an interesting topic. Greetings, Zach, Gabe, Max, and Gabe's beard.
Yep. It's coming back.
I can tell. You're regrowing it so that right before PAX Prime you can shave it again.
Probably.
You're living like, instead of living for the playoffs like NFL players, you're just living for the cons, the conventions.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, like every convention. From now on, I might even just do this for real. Every time there's gonna be a convention that I go to, that's when I'll shave. Other than that, I'm not doing it.
That sounds like a plan. Grant says, while listening to last week's show, a certain topic was raised to my attention: review scores. This came to my mind when hearing Zach say that Ori and the Blind Forest should not be Game of the Year because of its relatively small scale, and the second time when you guys went through all of this year's Metacritic scores. Although I don't agree that smaller games shouldn't be considered for Game of the Year, I do agree with the point that you can't put Ori on the same critical level of Batman or some other AAA title. Again, when comparing Metacritic scores, it doesn't seem fair and or accurate to grade games of different development scales using the same numerical method. You could say it's like comparing apples to oranges, but in this case, it's more like comparing an apple to a car. You can't, in my opinion, fairly review Ori and fairly review the Witcher, God, the Witcher.
Wait, okay, your brother made the washer. You're making the Richer
on the same scale. For this reason, I don't think numerical verdicts are the most effective way of reviewing games. For example, if Ori gets a 9, but Batman also gets a 9, what does that even mean? Are they on the same level? Since Ori is in theory an easier game to nail, shouldn't Batman in theory be rated higher? While many sites still review games with numbers, you slowly see more sites changing over to systems like yes or no. I personally run a website, this is Grant, not me, that assigns a game with buy, wait, or skip. We feel that this is a much more legitimate way of assessing a game's overall quality and applies for all games. Also, for truly amazing experiences, we award these special games with a seal of approval to acknowledge their extra excellence. For example, Bloodborne, The Witcher, and Ori received those this year. So my question is, how do you think games should be reviewed and assessed? Love the podcast. Keep it up. Right off the bat, though, like
I have so much to say about this.
Yeah, like yes or no, buy, wait, or skip are fine. But again, it leaves you in the same conundrum because how is Ori a buy and Batman a buy? But then like, oh, you throw a seal of approval on one of them, which like I understand, but that's basically the same thing as saying like, oh, Batman gets a star 9 and Ori gets a regular 9. Like it's very. I agree and disagree with things he's saying because I think it's very tough, but I don't know that I don't know replacing numbers with words is like really changes much.
Well, because that's the ideal. Like the ideal is remove every score, like any type, like remove yes or no, remove numbers, remove letters, everything,
right?
And just words only. You got to read, and that's it. But I take big issue with a lot of what he's saying. Like Ori, Batman, right? Different games doesn't make Ori any less of a game. Like that's. Like they perfected so much in that. Like I don't buy that stuff, and the industry as a whole doesn't buy this anymore. Like, oh, it's good for a downloadable game. Like you don't hear that anymore. These games are good. Because who cares if it's smaller? Who cares if it's quote unquote easier to nail down? Like the fact that Ori, it's not a perfect game, right? But let's just, for the sake of argument, say okay, let's say Ori's perfect, Batman isn't, because Batman's harder to develop doesn't give it a pass. Like. Not in my mind. A good game is a good game. I don't care if it's $2. I don't care if it's $100. Like if the experience I have with it is good, that's what I'm going off of.
Like he definitely agrees that Ori is good. I mean, he said it's one of his favorite games, and they gave it like their seal of approval. I mean, I think it's just like to put it in more of a movie analogy. Like okay, so you rate an episode of Dragon Ball Z a 9 out of 10, and you rate Mad Max Fury Road a 9 out of 10, and you rate some like what won Best Picture last year, Birdman, a 9 out of 10. Like, are all those 9s the same 9? Like, is that
absolutely
really?
It's different. Yeah, dude. Like,
how?
All right, so I think IGN scale is actually quite good. Like as far as like numbers like go, which I don't like numbers, but there's a 7 is good, a 8 is great, like a 9 is what outstanding, or something like that. All right, so let's say a 9's outstanding. Mm-hmm. You give a 9 to Ori and Batman. It doesn't mean that they're the same level of game relations, that they're both outstanding.
For what they are. So you're then saying that they are different.
No, yeah, they are different.
So like the 9s are different.
Yeah, but like you're giving. I think people give too much power to the number. Like I'm a Birdman. What else did you name? All right,
Mad
Birdman
Max,
and Mad Max.
Dragon Ball Z.
Birdman. No, I'm not gonna mention Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball. I saw the new episode of Super though. It's good. Birdman and Mad Max, dramatically different movies, right? Those are both 9s in my opinion. Birdman, it's an indie thing, and
if you were evaluating Ori next to Batman, like on the same scale, there's no way that they would both be 9s.
Ori might be a 9.5, and Batman might be a 9.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, from how much is in there? That's like saying, like,
that don't matter to me, man. It doesn't matter to me. Like, as long as I'm rating my experience. Like,
so if there's a 5-minute game and it's really great, that's a 9 as much as a 50-hour game that's really great?
Well, yeah, the $5 game's free. The 5-minute game's free. Like, nobody's paying for 5 minutes of entertainment.
So you need a price disclaimer.
I don't need a price disclaimer. I'm good. I know my definition. Like, dude, good games are good. That's it. I don't know why we gotta add all this extra stuff to it. Like, all right, if you love Ori, if you recognize it's mechanically sound, touching story, great ending, and like, it's an expansive world. Like, it's a big game. It's a really big game, right? And it costs, what, $15, $20? That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
But by saying that, like, that's, like, for what it is. By saying, because it's $15, $20...
Like, well, no, that's just like a cherry. Like, to me, that's a cherry on top. I would have easily paid more money for Ori if I could have. I wish I could. Like, if Ori had a Kickstarter and I knew exactly how I was going to feel about this game, I would have given money to it. like hands down. Like, I don't know why we gotta separate these games. Just because a game is smaller doesn't make it any less a game. Like, obviously,
I don't think it makes it.
There's some garbage out there. Obviously, like, you know, there's some stuff out there that is being charged full price that doesn't deserve it. You know what I mean? Like, Right to Hell, Retribution. How much was that piece of shit? Like, that's a real piece of shit as far as games go. That's a bad game. And it was sold, like, damn near full price. If not $40, I think it was sold for. I think it was $40. So, Ori being $20... that game being 40, and that's a bigger game. Does that mean that Ori isn't better, even though it obviously is? Just because this game is bigger? Who cares?
Yeah, I think you just got to but I think you have to decide how you're reviewing. And to me, there's like 3 possible ways. One would be just completely in a vacuum, like this by itself, no considerations. The other way would be in comparison to its peers, like okay, Ori versus Batman, or Ori versus.
I don't think that's fair.
And then the third way would be taking into account its price and like that defining it, because
well, it doesn't define it, but you got to take it into account though. Like, you have to. Like, I think even if, you know, I could sit here and say, you know, I would pay $60 for Ori. The fact that it is $20 makes it a better experience because you're paying less for it and you're getting so much more. You know what I mean?
So then, when Batman goes on sale for $19.99 in a year, like, is it then
it's a much better purchase?
But it's not a better game, right?
No, it's not a better game.
And
that's what I'm saying. Exactly what you just said is my point. It's not a better game because, you know, it costs less. It's still like the same game. The game's still what it is.
So if you agree to that, though, then on the contrary, Ori should not get bonus points for being cheaper.
It doesn't get bonus points for getting cheaper.
It sure does. If Ori was 60, there's no way it would review how it's reviewing. You know that. Maybe not for you, but there's no way. That game is not going to 9 out of 10 at $60.
Yeah, but that's also a game that's just not going to sell for $60.
Right. So then it's like, I feel like we maybe need different scales, or I don't know how you
bring demos back. That's what they need to do. Bring demos back. Everybody try the stuff on your own. If you like it, buy it. If you don't. Simple.
So if you were going to make a new website, it's called you know, the Ketchup Crew, and you're going to review games. What system would you use? What scoring system?
I would want to do no numbers, like no stars, nothing. I would want to do only words, but that doesn't do as well, obviously. You know what I mean? Like, you need something there. I think what Giant Bomb does is good. I think
5 stars.
The 5 stars, yeah. I think the 5 stars is good. You're rating it like a 5-star experience, not saying, oh, this is a 9. You know what I mean? So Ori can be a 4-star experience, just like Batman's a 4-star experience. I don't think that's what they gave either of those games. But those 4-star restaurants, right? They can still be super different. You know what I mean? Like 4-star pizza place. Like if you go on Yelp and you go to, like, I don't know, another 4-star restaurant, it's super different, but they're still, you know, on the same level of quality. You know what I mean? Like, I think Ori's quality is super high. Ori's quality is a 9 in my head. I don't care about the price. I don't care that it's a smaller team. I don't care that it's a smaller game. I had more fun with Ori than I did with Batman.
I think I might use numbers, but then find a way to add, like, maybe come up with a couple of genres or categories. So it's like Batman is reviewed in the AAA category, Ori is reviewed in the downloadable category. You know, maybe you have like
I think
a free to play category. But like legit, like I feel like you have to, for the audience, I feel like you have to give them a point of like comparison and reflection so they understand. Or maybe you just give like recommendations, like Batman is a 9 in the same way that, you know, GTA and, you know, whatever are a 9. Because like, again, like with the problem is none of these sites are a one-man show. If it was a one-man show, then yes, I think the number system works fine, but it's not. And therefore, the people reviewing them don't have the same ideas of 8s and 9s. They try to make some sort of standardization, but when you look at a website as a whole and you've got all these writers and all these reviews, they're not on the same scale, because it's just like that age-old question of like, do you have someone review a game that loves the genre or is new to the genre or hates the genre or...
None of the... I mean, preferably loves the genre. Like, you're not gonna go put. If I hate RTSs, I'm not gonna go review an RTS. Like,
sure, but like
if I've never played a MOBA, I'm not gonna go review Dota. Like,
okay, but is my review of Evolve 2 the review you want to read?
I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not, right? You'd rather have something a little bit more objective that doesn't. I mean, it's just so hard. You know what the solution?
Well, review. Because reviews are subjective. Like, this is all opinions. Like,
right. So what we need is robots.
What you got to do
That's the answer. Robots.
No. What you need is to find a couple personalities that you really like. Like, that's what I do. Like, there's a couple reviewers and YouTube personalities out there that I know, like, okay, they like what I like. So I go pay attention to what they're doing. Well, at least, back then, because now, sometimes I'm making some of the content myself. But, for reviews, written reviews, like, I still go to Giant Bomb. Like, I still know that when Brad Shoemaker writes a review, I'm going to like it. I still know that when Jeff Gerstmann's been on some stuff lately, but I used to really like Kevin Van Ort stuff back in the day. Like, I used to know, like, hey, if he likes this, chances are I'm going to like it because I know we have super similar tastes. Same with Arthur Geese. Not now. Definitely not now. And I'm a fan of all these people. I don't mean to like sound like
sure, and I think that's great too. That's the way I do it. The problem becomes when you combine them into Metacritic, because now you're combining things that aren't the same. You are combining apples and oranges. You are combining apples and cars, like he said, and then to amalgamate them into one score that dictates people's like bonuses and maybe even a studio's closure or survival is ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's not our job. Like, if we're talking consumer, like if we're looking at the perspective of the consumer alone, that shouldn't even enter the consumer's brain at all. Like,
oh, no, I understand that. But I'm just saying that's why Metacritic is kind of screwy, because your 9 and my 9 and Arthur Geese's 9 and Kevin Van Ort's 9 are different. And so then to group them together.
Well, I think people have started putting so much emphasis on Metacritic, and I don't think you should. Like, why? Like,
I would love to see a way to standardize, but it's probably impossible.
Yeah, no, it's super impossible. This is like such a weird topic. Like, I'll defend Ori to death. I love that game. Like, man, that game's amazing. And I've said it before. If I could replay either game for the first time ever, Batman or Ori, I'll do Ori. And I hate to just call out Batman. I'll do the same for The Witcher. I'll do the same for any game this year.
Would you eat ketchup for Ori?
Nah, man, get out of here. We're not doing that. I'll just not experience Ori.
Robert writes in and says, "Hey guys, I'm a huge fan of the podcast. I really liked what was shown about Xbox's new IP Recore. I liked the trailer and I've been trying to find as much information as I can about it. Wanted to know if this is something you guys were excited for, and what do you think the game will become? Thanks for reading this email. Hope it gets put into an episode for the only podcast I listen to." Robert, you're on the show. Recore, that was the new game from Mr. Mega Man, Inafune.
Yeah, that's his name, Mr. Mega Man.
Mr. Mega Man, like Mr. Mario at Nintendo.
Did you see that they launched a Kickstarter for like a Mega Man Legends type game?
Yeah, I did. What's it, like Red Ash, I think?
Yeah. I thought of Ash from Pokemon, but
yeah. And the funny thing is, Ash is called Red in the Pokemon games, so that's like even
what's
weirder.
on Ash?
It is Ash.
Like, honestly, what can you say about Recore? We got one trailer. Like, we don't know what the game is. Like, I don't know.
Puzzle shooter with creatures?
Yeah. See, I was even assuming it was an action game. Like I don't know what this thing is. I thought it was like third person. Like, we just don't know. Yeah. The trailer was very cool. The concept seems cool of like putting like that orb, the Allspark, basically, we're using Transformers terms, into like other little robots. Like, I mean, it's cool. I hope it turns out good. I just don't know.
Yeah, thumbs up for new IP. That's like what I can say. Brandon writes in, "Hey guys, first I'd like to say that I enjoy watching the podcast and listening to game discussions as well as the friendly arguments. What do you guys think about Mad Max at E3? It's caught my interest of late and I'm excited to play it." We got to play about a 20-minute demo of Mad Max at E3. We talked about
17 minutes. There was might have been like there was a timer that said 17 minutes, I think.
We talked about it a little bit before. I don't know. I definitely went in very excited for that game, and for me, I came out like I don't even know if I'm going to play it.
Well, you're going to play it.
I am.
Yeah, you're going to play it. I don't know if you'll like it.
I'll just play Metal Gear instead. It's the same dang day.
Oh, I'm going to play Metal Gear first. But I'll finish them both in a day and a half. That's just what I'm doing lately.
Crazy.
I went in with no expectations is my thing. Like, I didn't, I heard all the preview coverage was, really good from Judges Week and all that. And then I played, I'm like, yeah, I agree. The car stuff is cool. That's all I tried. I tried a little bit of the... Because you had to pick, on the demo that we were doing, you had to pick, are you going to do, like, the combat stuff where you're, like, Batman, basically? Or are you going to do the car stuff? And everyone picked the car stuff, I think.
Right. Well, that's kind of the focus of that game is, like, the car combat. And, I thought the first trailer they showed, the gameplay reveal, was really exciting. And then it doesn't seem as, like, fully fleshed out of a game as I expected. Like, that trailer showed, like, you're going from town to town and collecting stuff for your car and fighting these guys.
Maybe all that could easily be in the game, dude. We played, like, a tiny part of it.
Yeah, but I based on the limited we played, it seems like it's more like there's little outposts and you're driving. And,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, if you're into Mad Max, I think it looked pretty cool, but to me, it lowered itself a tier or two by the demo we played.
Yeah, if you're expecting this to be like the next Shadow of Mordor, which I know you don't even like as much as everyone else, but I don't think it's that. No. But it could be a cool game. Like,
I think we have this weird coming after Batman though. Like if you played Arkham Knight and then played that, I don't know that would go over too well.
That's why you play Metal Gear first.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what is this absolute crap? And then Mad Max is the palate cleanser.
I will say this: Mad Max is not absolute crap. I'll say that. I can say that with
for sure.
Good certainty. So.
Our next email comes from South Wales, UK. Hello, guys. My name's Ollie. Wait, Masterov? Isn't his name Oliver?
Oliver, you could just tell us this.
Could have just said we would have had you on the show. Last podcast, you were talking about how good the gaming industry has been in the last 6 months, and to be honest, I don't think it's done that well. However, he says, I do think it's done well compared to 2014, but in regards to some years we've had in the past, it's been incredibly mediocre. Yes, there have been some good games, but I think coming from the heap of awful games we had last year, these new games appear like they're some kind of ultimate gem. Most of the games that have been released aren't that great, in my opinion, and should have been of higher quality. So my question is, do you think that a lot of the stuff released in the first half of 2015 are so loved by the three of you and others because they're truly great games, or just because the awful year we had in 2014 affects people's judgment about 2015's releases? I love the podcast, and have listened to it each week religiously. You three work great together. Keep up the good work. Tell Gabe I hate ketchup as well.
Yeah, Ollie, let's just destroy all ketchup. Let's just destroy it somehow. Heinz, you're going down. Yeah, I think it's a mixture of both, but there has been some truly great games, and Zach, I know you don't think so, but Ori, Axiom Verge, we can give it to Batman, I guess, but I say that with some trepidation. Like, there's, those are solid. Bloodborne was awesome, dude.
I think it's been a phenomenal year.
Yeah.
No, not because of 2014. I mean, look, The Order was kind of a flop, okay, and The Witcher for me, but for most people, The Witcher was great, Batman was great, Splatoon was, a hidden gem, Bloodborne was great. You've had Ori, like you mentioned, Axiom Verge, some other
Mortal Kombat, which we keep growing up. Like, Mortal Kombat, like, good fighting game, man. Good game, period, but as far as fighting game goes, like, that's a fun game to watch, man. I can't wait for Evo. Evo's coming up. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat looks great. It plays great. It runs full on 60 and fantastically. Dying Light came out early in the year. We've been peppered with a lot of really good and some great releases, and I don't think that has anything to do with 2014. Sure, it's fun to get them, but I don't think we're like in some hypnotic stupor from 2014 where we're like, oh god, this game's competent, so I'm going to call it great. Like, Batman is really good, and we're in that sort of second, third wave of games for this generation, so they are upping their quality considerably, and that I guess is a little bit of an asterisk. But even if I think back to like the year where we got Assassin's Creed 2, Uncharted 2, Batman Arkham Asylum, like, you could make an argument that Batman Arkham Knight and The Witcher and Bloodborne even, compared to those three, and we're still going to get Tomb Raider, Halo 5, Black Ops 3, Fallout 4. Like, this year is going to be an incredibly solid year, regardless of what happened last year, next year, any year.
Plus Battleborn, plus Metal Gear, like, there's a lot of cool stuff coming, dude. Like, Hitman's this year, technically, right? Mm-hmm. And I know, like, Hitman isn't huge AAA, but if we're talking just good games, like Hitman traditionally, I can't think of a single like terrible Hitman game, like, so. There's a lot of stuff to be excited. I think it's a good year, but like I said, I think it's a mixture of both. Like last year was so bad that like a lot of this, I'm just happy to have it.
But don't you think like Batman, Fallout, like Bloodborne, Witcher, like
Fallout's those games coming, like
those games would be standouts any year though, not just because of 2014.
Yeah, that's true. I know there's a delay there. Sorry, but yeah, I think you're right. This 2015 is backloaded, basically. 2016 is front loaded as far as game releases go. This year it's been like very spaced out. We're in a big drought right now. There's nothing happening, which sort of sucks. But
that's like every year though.
Yeah, we've had some real gems this year. Like, there's some stuff that are like amazing. Axiom Verge is the best Metroidvania game in a long time. Ori is an amazing little platformer, and then Bloodborne, for me, I love that game. I don't know how people that are like hardcore into the Dark Souls franchise like it, but I love that game. Mm-hmm. And Batman's doing what Batman's doing. It's doing very well. People love it. I like it a lot. Yeah, and there's a whole lot of other stuff. Evolve came out this year. We also had You mentioned the order, not smaller, but things that do as well. Dying Light, that did really well. We have a new franchise on our hands because of it. I can't wait to see what Dying Light 2 is, and we're getting it because it's sold really well. Yeah, who knows?
And we've got, like everybody's gone to the Rapture. That No Man's Sky is supposed to come out this year. Gigantic will be really cool in August when that comes out. So there's plenty of stuff. In 2016, you're looking at that front half of the year with Mirror's Edge, Uncharted, Deus Ex, more that I'm blanking on, The Division. Like, it's going to be... We're entering the meat and potatoes of this generation, so you're going to get good stuff probably for the next 24 months.
Yeah.
Joshua writes in all the way from New Zealand and says, my question is about your lifestyles and how different it is compared to where I come from. In New Zealand, we don't have that many people, and we don't have many huge cities with high-rise buildings and skyscrapers. Me being from the other side of the world, I was wondering, what's it like living in such massive cities with so many people? Have any of you considered living somewhere else? And where? Is there a place in the world you ever have wanted to visit? I love your podcast. Every time I try to do my homework and listen to it at the same time, somehow I always get distracted and end up just sitting there listening to the podcast and not doing my homework for hours. From your one and only New Zealander. I think we probably have more people from New Zealand, but that's really cool.
What's his name?
Joshua.
Joshua, man. I think you have misconceptions about where me and Zachary live.
Yeah. America isn't all glitz and glam. Although LA, we've been to these places, but...
Yeah, but we live in small towns, like probably still maybe a little bit bigger than where you're at in New Zealand, I would assume. I don't know, but pardon my ignorance. But Austin, big towns, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, they're all close to me. I can go to all of them, but I don't live in them. Like I just live in the suburbs of a tiny town, dude.
Yeah,
I don't.
Indiana, where I live, it's definitely not like big city, high rise, anything like that. I mean, it's fully like developed and like tons of people and whatever, but it's not like that. I mean, and I've lived near Chicago, near Detroit, near Los Angeles. I don't really like the city lifestyle, so I don't feel like you're missing out on too much. It probably seems like there's a lot going on, but I've always wanted to go to New Zealand or that area. I hear it's like really laid back and pretty, and
I want to go to New York. I've never been to New York.
Okay.
That's a place
I
want to visit.
hated New York. That's one of my least favorite trips I've ever taken. I just don't do well with like that kind of claustrophobia and traffic and commotion and chaos. Like it.
Well, I didn't say New York City. We can go to Buffalo.
Okay. All right. No. Where would I like to visit in the world? I've never. I know it's cliche, but I think somewhere like Caribbean, Hawaii would be really cool. And I would like to do sort of like the Europe thing, just because. I mean, we got to go. Max. We got to go find Scott.
Yeah, I want to visit Max.
Toronto.
I want to go to Canada. Never been there. Italy, stuff like that.
You want to scale the Eiffel
Japan?
Tower?
No, I want to do Japan.
Okay.
Japan would be cool.
Yeah, there's.
Me and Lucy are thinking about going to Cancun,
okay,
sometime this year. So maybe, but I think Cancun's in Mexico, right? Probably.
You tell me.
It's in Mexico. Yeah, it's in Mexico. A different type of Mexico than what I'm used to, but
yeah. We'll have to do a Can't Stop Playing road world tour at some point where we just travel all these locations.
We'll just podcast on the car
for sure.
Yeah.
This person did not sign their email, so mystery writer writes in. It's Baz, B-A-S, Baz.
From Mega Man.
Yeah. They say I have one gaming related question and one non-game related question. The first game related question is, are any of you guys going to Gamescom? And either way, what are you most excited for? So we'll address that first.
I can't do
it. Gabe's not going, but what are you most excited for?
Quantum Break.
Okay, and I would like to go if Quantum Break or Scalebound are playable. I will highly consider it, but I don't think they are. In which case, I probably won't go. But I'm most excited for Scalebound. I just want to see what that is.
It's harder to go to events that are like out of
the country.
Yeah,
out of the continent.
Out of the continent. Yeah, because Canada you could probably do, right? If Mexico all of a sudden wants to do something, we could go over there.
The Mexican E3 that's coming in. Never.
Yeah, but leaving the country is hard. Like the continent, I mean.
For sure. His second question is, what would you guys be doing right now if you didn't have YouTube?
I don't know, man. Probably working. Probably trying to go to. Probably finishing business school, trying to start my own business.
I would be. I don't know what I'd be doing. Hopefully I'd be like playing college basketball, but probably not. So instead I'd probably be I would probably be getting some education
Degree.
at some point, because I'd be like, well, or maybe I just have some like brilliant entrepreneurial idea that has been held back by this
Let's start
game thing.
Me and Zach are making a startup. We can't tell you about it.
Are we?
Yeah, we've talked about it many times. Not really.
Okay, I was going to say, I was trying to rack my brain, like, what? Which idea was this?
I was hoping you would talk that you would go to the city in the water. What the hell is it called?
Oh yeah, the floating
a floating city. Yeah, we're gonna make a floating city.
Yeah, it's like a commune in the ocean, but on the ocean, where like only select people are allowed on, and you have to be vetted. It's like Lost. Like we bring you there via submarine, and it's like this special like Atlantis community above the water though, so we can breathe. And basically we're building like our own Columbia/Rapture on the water.
Basically.
Are you Andrew Ryan, or am I Andrew Ryan?
You can be Andrew Ryan.
So I'm the psychopath with like the bold ideas that ends up killing people with a golf club or
yes,
whatever? Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Nate writes in and says, "Hey guys, I really love y'all, and my game of the year is Splatoon, no explanation needed." He wants to know what our opinion is on two of his favorite TV shows if we've ever seen them. One would be the Flash TV series, and the other would be Steven Universe. He says it's a great show that really changes how you see cartoons, and it may sound silly in the beginning, but later you die once every few episodes. I don't even know what that means. It sounds pretty scary.
I've never seen Steven Universe, but I like the Flash a lot. I'm worried for the next season though, because although I'm sure he's coming back at some point, Reverse Flash isn't going to be a thing. I'm sure they're going to take a big break from him. Like, what are you going to do? Like, it ended on such a crazy cliffhanger. I won't spoil it, but the way it ended has me excited to see what they do next. And they've announced, I think, who the bad guy is. Well, no, Grant Gustin said there is a big bad for next year. I don't know what it is. Gorilla Grodd's technically still out there, but I don't know how you make him the big bad. I mean, I can see it, but
isn't he a giant gorilla?
Yeah, he's a big gorilla.
In the show, is he a big gorilla?
Yeah, he's a big gorilla.
And he talks?
Well, no, he doesn't talk. He like telepathic shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gorilla Grodd doesn't talk. No.
I've never seen either of those, so I have no comment. Dan writes in and says, "Hey guys, my name's Dan. How are you doing?"
I'm doing amazing, Dan. How are you doing?
I just want to ask,
and let me know how you're doing.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if you guys would ever consider doing merch for the podcast. Love the podcast. Thanks so much. Have a great week.
Talk to Zachary about that.
I think it would be cool eventually. Let us grow up a little bit more. We're only 18. You know, we just started this life thing. So maybe when we're like middle aged.
Yeah,
that would be the idea. Sabrina,
I can safely say, because even if Zach doesn't want to do it, I'll do it. Eventually,
right.
You'll be able to buy. Yeah, eventually you'll be able to buy something related to the podcast. I don't know when, but whatever.
Sabrina from
it's coming.
We have this awkward delay where like it's causing so many overlaps. No, it's not your fault. It's my fault. The internet at this hotel is trash. Sabrina from the Psychic Gym writes in and says, "Hey guys, I was wondering about your take on using video games in classrooms. I'm currently in university studying to be an elementary school teacher, and I'm an avid gamer. This year at my school, we had a technology and education convention, and there were a lot of booths centered on using video games in classrooms, including having a classroom with its own Minecraft server. There were also booths about software to allow children to make simple games themselves, classroom 3D printers, and much more. I believe this is very interesting and is a great way to keep children engaged in school with things they enjoy. I do need to point out the other side of the argument, though. Kids today spend so much time in front of a screen that it can be damaging, and children don't necessarily have the skills to regulate their gaming hours. I'm wondering what your take is on this issue and how you would regulate your maybe possible future children regarding video games, and if you think it's a good idea to incorporate them into the classroom." From Sabrina in Canada.
All right. Like many good questions, there's a lot here to go into, right? Yes, I think video games should and can be integrated into the classrooms in creative ways. But like the big point there that I want to go to is what you said about, kids these days. This is their life. Like, this is it. Like, I'm on my phone. This is it. Like, that's all they do, man. Mm-hmm. We were trying to play a simple game of Monopoly last night. Me and Lucy, my little brother, my little sister, and one of my brother's friends. That's a simple game of Monopoly. They can't stay off their phones for more than 5 minutes. They just can't do it. And, we finished one game. It took a couple hours. And they're like, "Oh, can we play again?" I'm like, the only way we'll play again is if everyone has me their phones. Yeah. I'm not doing it. Yeah. Like, I'm not doing this.
Father Gabe getting serious.
Yeah, like, people need to. All right, if you have a kid, send them outside every once in a while, man. Like, I know they have their iPads; it's much easier to monitor them while they're inside. But I promise you, like, millions of people have grown up in this world without getting killed just for going outside. Go outside, climb a tree, break a bone. Like, you'll be all right. Like, do stuff, but like, there's still a lot of interesting ways that you can incorporate games into the classrooms. Even when I was young, I don't know if you ever had this. We had a couple of computers that had, I forgot what the name of the game was, but it was basically like a matching game for like math stuff. You had to match like an equation, not an equation. It was probably just like division. Like, let's say it was like 4 divided by 6, 4 divided by 6, and you match them. So and you get a sound, an audible, like, hey, you did a good job matching this, and I'll solve it so you can go on to the next one. So
probably like Math Blaster and Number Munchers or something like that.
Yeah, Number Muncher. That's what it was, I think. Yeah. With the little dude. Yeah.
I mean, I have a pretty strong opinion on this. First, the thing about games in classrooms, frankly, I know that, like, yeah, maybe it's more engaging or it gives you a little bit more access to their attention, but I think that's selling kids short, and it's almost stupefying the society by saying, like, oh, like, we need to use games to teach them because they can't handle regular learning or pencils or normal things. Like, man, the school my brother goes to, my youngest brother is 13, even in their, like, little kids, like kindergarten, those kids have iPads that the school's provided for learning and whatever. And, like, okay, great, but you could just as easily teach them. I know there's plenty of opportunities that the internet provides, but there's also plenty of opportunities that a regular education provides and interaction with the teacher and not with a screen. I mean, I read a huge article last night about the NBA, actually, and how 8 of the top 11 picks in last year's draft all suffered significant injuries. And they brought together a huge panel to try to investigate if this was a fluke or not. And the number one issue that they pointed to of why today's NBA players are getting injured so much more is blue light, which comes from phones and computers, and that they're not getting adequate sleep and their body is not having the adequate time to recover. And not everyone's playing superstar sports like that, but it's totally true that messes with people's minds, their bodies, their sleep cycles, their biorhythms, and it's just not needed. Sure, it's cool to play games. I love them. My kids will play games. But there's so much more to life. I really believe in well-roundedness. And, like, man, like, life isn't about sitting in front of a screen and, like, leveling up. It's about leveling up in real life, going outside, pursuing a hobby, getting better at something, making a friend, developing a relationship. Like, texting is really cool, but I promise you, talking to someone in real life provides way more enjoyment and way more magic than through an interface of, electronic whatever. And I sound like an old person, but it's totally true.
You sound super sensible, and I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah. So
which is rare.
Yeah. really good thought, Sabrina. Thank you. This comes from First Last, which I guess is like first name, last name. He said, want to know a question about Battleborn, since we both played it at E3. He said, in all the footage I've seen, the playable characters look weak and underpowered. None of the weapons exhibit any form of recoil, the enemies don't seem to receive any noticeable damage, and aside from their health meter depleting, nobody looks like anything's really happening. So my question is, how satisfying are the combat mechanics in this game? Is it even close to that of Borderlands? Thanks in advance, love the cast, keep them coming.
Super close to that of Borderlands. Like, there's definitely recoil on the guns. I use Oscar Mike, which... he's one of the I don't know if it's few, but he's one of the characters that actually has like traditional guns.
Right.
Because the thing about Battleborn is a lot of these characters, it's not guns really. It's other stuff like a bow and arrow. Like, how much recoil do you have on that really? Like,
it definitely that was my concern as well. Like, looking at it, I even told you, like, man, it doesn't look like there's any feedback on the weapons, and it looks like it gives off this impression that it's soft because the noise isn't really there audio wise.
The noise, the audio's not there. But the recoil for the gun that I was using with Oscar Mike, actual recoil, it's there.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you want, but
I do think
I said, that was one character.
Yeah, I do think it has more of that like MMO/MOBA combat where it is more about attack, and not like, oh, you're firing a shotgun and getting like this huge satisfying Half-Life sound. But that being said, like, it has a speed and a pace to it that's all its own, and there is tons of satisfaction in comboing and going for as many kills as possible. Yeah, the idea of this game isn't to have, epic encounters, but it's much more of that Borderlands fashion where you're pumping damage into creatures to kill them. And the way that you utilize your different moves, because you have multiple of them, this isn't like Destiny with one special, it was super satisfying. One of my favorite characters I played was called Darius, and he's like a robot mech, and he has moves where he has a gun, and he's also able to like launch guys into the air and then ground pound, and the way that you could kind of like cycle through all that was super satisfying. So it does give off the impression like combat is soft and weak in this game, but I think when you play it, you'll realize like it is a little bit different, but it's totally satisfying.
Yeah.
Britain writes in and says, guys,
the country?
Yeah, the whole country. How do you guys feel about cable? Me personally, there's nothing on television that I'm interested in watching.
How funny is super appropriate. I still have cable, and I pay like $90 a month for it, and I have like basically every channel, excluding like a lot of the premium stuff. I have HBO, but other than that, nothing else. Like no Cinemax, no Stars, none of that.
Right.
So I'm dumb. I'm paying for a whole bunch of cable that I don't use. We literally watch maybe like 4 or 5 channels, like, and I've been thinking like, hey, like I should just like get rid of this, but I'm under contract is the thing. As soon as I can get a couple more months off the contract, I'm going to terminate that thing early. I just don't want to pay like an insane amount. But every month that I keep using it, it goes down by like $20, like the termination fee. So if I can get it down to where I'm paying like, hey, if I give you $200, I'm out. Like, you know, give you your equipment back, which I'm leasing, the DVRs and such, and then I'm just done with it. That's what I want to do, because ESPN and everything, which is, you know, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News, those are like 3 of the channels we watch, like 3 of like the maybe 7.
Right.
And all those are on my Roku now, because they have the Watch Now ESPN app.
Oh, gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, and the other stuff I could like certainly do without. So I'm totally ready to cut the cord fully. We haven't done it, just contract-wise, so...
Yeah, I'm stupid. I pay for cable, and the only thing I watch is sports and The Voice.
All of what you can get online. The Voice is on Hulu the day after.
It's like one of those things that feels like it's such like a habit. Like getting rid of it feels weird, but I totally could. David writes in, moving right along, but it's actually Adam. So sorry about that, Adam. Hey guys, it's Adam from Detroit, Michigan. Instead of video games question, I'm ready to ask you some sports questions. So we're going to run through these real quick, Gabe. Number one, who's your favorite MLB team?
I don't like baseball that much.
Me neither.
Here, let me look at my wall. Dodgers.
Tigers, because I'm from Detroit. What college teams you usually root for?
Georgia.
Michigan State all the way. And who do you think is the luckiest pro athlete today? This guy... Adam thinks it's Justin Verlander because he makes $30 million a year and gets to date Kate Upton.
I say Aaron Rodgers because I used to have a thing for Olivia Munn.
Okay.
Plus, he's just Aaron Rodgers, which is amazing. Side note, I was at the mall yesterday.
You saw Aaron Rodgers?
No, I wish. I would have hugged him. I went to Lids and I went to this other sporting goods store and a hat, just a couple specific sports memorabilia places, and I kept asking for. I couldn't find a Detroit Lions hat. I couldn't find a Lions hat anywhere. I wanted to get one so I could buy it for you, or like buy it. I was gonna buy you one. I was gonna buy me one, so I can, because I don't own one, so I want one so I can wear it.
Yes.
And also, I was gonna send you one. So, and I kept looking. They're like, no, man, try like a little bit closer to the NFL season. Like, I know we're getting some stuff. Like, they have nothing, dude. Like, they had like nobody cares about the Steelers in Texas. Like, come on. But they had a whole bunch of Pittsburgh stuff. Like, I don't know what all that's
about. Funny because I was at the mall with Noah the other day, and he was looking for a Golden State hat, and like they had like Pacers, Heat, Cavs, like of course LeBron. And,
tons of Golden State stuff over here.
Oh really? Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Zero, none.
Yeah.
Nothing for those Warriors.
What does he want? What did he want?
Just a Golden State hat. I'll probably order him one offline or something, but just something to rep Steph Curry. I don't know, like luckiest athlete. I mean, a lot of them are pretty darn lucky.
Steph Curry's the luckiest athlete because people care about him when no one cared about him.
Yeah,
before.
They love him.
He has the ugliest shoes ever.
I like his shoes. I just got
his shoes are ugly. I saw them. I was at Champs yesterday, and I was because they had the Kyries in some weird colors I had never seen, but it was for kids only. So kids have some like
they do
exclusive colors.
They do.
Oh man, I was like, damn, I wish I could fit my foot into this.
I like the purple. The purple and teal Currys are cool. I have those.
Yeah. I think those shoes are butt ugly.
Okay.
Because I was having this conversation with my friend, and he said he was gonna get them. I'm like, man, let me go see them in person, right?
Yeah.
I said if I like them, I might just get them because I need some new basketball shoes. I'm wearing my Jordans out, so I was like, damn, these things are ugly. So, I don't know, man.
I like Steph Curry. He's nice. He's skinny. He's still in the NBA. He's got a cute daughter. He seems like a good guy. He's got a good family. He's got his head on straight, and he makes it rain.
What do you not like about Aaron Rodgers? Best quarterback in the league. right?
He looks dumb and he does dumb commercials and he plays for the Packers. That's all I need.
All of this sounds amazing. His commercials are great.
His mustache is horrible. Don't ever put that thing on your face
Dude,
again.
he has the best mustache.
No, it's so
man.
gross.
And when he grows that beard
it's so
out,
gross.
It's
so
perfect,
disgusting.
There's nothing like an Aaron Rodgers walking onto Lambeau Field.
No, it is the definition of like zero attraction.
Dude, in the winter, right? All the snow coming in. Oh, man, it's perfect.
He looks like he should be in like the Wild West.
We should go to a Packers game. Let's go to a Packers game.
Want to go Lambeau and the Lions playing?
Yeah, let's go to Lambeau.
All right. John writes in with my favorite email of the week. It's a relationship letter.
All
right, dear. We got to get our wipe these smirks off our face and let's get in serious help mode.
All right.
Dear Can't Stop Asking crew, you guys wanted life-related questions, so here you go. I was recently forced into the friend zone. This girl I have a super big crush on said that she only liked me as a friend, and I didn't even ask her out. I have her number, and her brother texted me, "I like you," from her phone. I didn't know it was her brother until she started spamming me with texts saying stuff like she was so sorry, her brother was so stupid, she only liked me as a friend. How do I get out of this truly odd situation that I've been forced into? John.
Damn, man, that's such a terrible situation. Cause we've all had. Well, I've had that for sure. Like back in high school, I've been with my wife for a long time. 5 years. It's not that long. It sucks, doesn't it? I remember like damn near the exact same thing happened once too. I like this girl or whatever, and her brother went to the same high school as us. And like one day was like, "Hey, how come you haven't asked like my sister out? She's been like waiting for you to ask her out." Then I asked her out. She's like, "He's crazy. Like I don't like you like that." Like not in a mean way, but like yeah, we were all just. It was like damn near the exact same thing, but in person, not text. It's like I don't know if it's super possible to get out of the friend. I'm sure it's happened before, but as far as your odds go, sadly, I think you should just start looking elsewhere for newer interests. But that's my opinion. I don't know.
Here's my 3 Ghost Robo pieces of advice. Number 1, you probably don't need a girlfriend. I don't know how old you are, but you could probably be totally cool without it, so don't sweat it too much. 2, if that feels insensitive to you, then most good relationships start as friendships. Like just going straight into like, I don't know you, you're cute, dating, like the likelihood of that working out
that's tough.
might not be that great. So maybe your friend zoning is actually setting up for either A, you date them later because you realize you do like them, or B, you save yourself some hassle because you realize that they're kind of crappy, or you just don't match up. And then
I don't mean I'm sorry, Zach. I don't mean to hit a little too close to home here, right? But it could turn into this perfect situation where like she could be with like this douchey guy, and you're the guy there that's like obviously better, right? And you could be the guy that's just like you're right there for her every step of the way with this douchey guy, and the douchey guy is gonna break her heart. And she's in it. Sorry, pop filter just left. Right? She gets dumped, and then you're gonna be there to catch the rebound, man. Like, and it sucks to be like the rebound guy, but if you're there for her, like carrying away, I think that goes a long way, and maybe that could work for you.
Sure. And then my 3rd piece of advice, I said 1, you don't need a girlfriend. 2. Oh, and 3, like I always tell people this. I think like if you're not wanted, then like look for somebody else, because who wants to be with somebody that doesn't really like want to be with you? Like I don't understand that. Like the whole idea of like chasing people or like convincing them to like you makes no sense to me, because there's probably someone out there that actually really likes you and values you and thinks you're awesome, and you'd much rather be with that person than trying to like force your way into the like whatever you want to call it, like the good favor of someone who isn't sure about you. Like just don't worry about it, basically.
I totally agree, but give it a slight push. I'm not saying like, hey, like try to force your way in, but make a slight push. Throw your name out there. I don't know how you are. I forgot his name. I'm sorry,
John.
But John, like I'm the type of person where if that happened to me, I told her just throw it all out there. I'm like, okay, look, now you know how I feel about you, right? And you're saying that you only see him as a friend, but if you could, like, we can continue to be friends, and that's cool. But just know that I have interests. So if you ever want to try to be more than friends, I'm totally down.
Right.
So like.
Give her that resume, so whenever there's an opening, she can just fill that void.
Exactly.
Good question, John. I do appreciate it. Trey writes
more of those, please.
Yeah, we want let me and Gabe be old people and give sage advice. This is from Trey. He says, "First of all, I love the show. I've been watching and listening from the beginning. Thanks, Trey."
Songs, Trey Songs.
Trace. I thought you said Trey Thongs for a second. I was like
Trey Songs. He's taking a break from whatever he does and. He's writing into it.
He's taking a break from stealing girls.
Yeah. He invented text. So
So because of Microsoft's announcement of backwards compatibility, my parents are going to get me an Xbox One for my birthday. I was wondering, what are your recommended favorite games for the Xbox One or Xbox 360? They don't have to be exclusives, just good games to get with the console. But I'm going to modify this.
And give them PS4 games.
No.
I'm sure.
And I'm going to modify this and say exclusives, because that makes sense. And he lets us know that he is in middle school, so he's looking for stuff that is not rated M, where most of the focus usually is.
Damn it. Because I was going to say, you can get like backwards compatible, like, cause Mass Effect, they've announced that that's going to be one.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could do like Mass Effect 1, 2, 3, like, that'd be so cool. Like, if you've never had an Xbox, like, it's crazy.
I think first off, like, I hope you know that it's not totally backwards compatible. Like, there's a very limited list.
Yeah.
So I hope you're aware of that.
It's supposedly it's gonna be a growing list, but for now it's super limited.
Yeah. I would say Plants vs Zombies: Garden Warfare is fantastic and fun, and it's rated E, but it's definitely a hardcore enough game for anybody. Ori and the Blind Forest, as Gabe loves. I would see if you could convince your parents to let you get Sunset Overdrive. You can turn off all the language and all the blood. And that's
a great one, dude.
Fantastic, and it's a rare game where it has the opportunity to lower itself down to a T level. The original Batman games are all rated T, and those are all super fantastic.
I don't know those are backward compatible though.
True. If they're,
I think I can safely say those are not.
They're probably going to release an Arkham collection this fall and sell it to you that way.
See, because I want to see Gears collections come in next year, but he said no M, and that is definitely M. So, like, if you can't play M games, don't get Gears.
Although doesn't Gears also allow you to turn off blood and language? It's still pretty. Sure.
Yeah,
like Sunset, you could get away with, but I don't think that. I'm trying to think. Yeah. It is weird that I'm thinking like BioShock, Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, like all these games, Dead Space, they're all M as can be.
Mirror's Edge, if that's gonna come, that's a good one. Yeah. That's not M. I think that's T. So. Yeah, it's the M rating thing that, like, because I said Mass Effect isn't super mature. It's mature in themes. Yeah, just avoid the sex scenes. Cover your eyes.
Yeah. Viva Pinata, I know that's like really childish, but it's like actually a really great game for Xbox 360. Yeah.
Rare Collection is coming, and there's 30 games for $30, and they're all a lot. They're not all good, but there's a lot of good stuff on there.
I think downloadably, like, you can probably find a bunch as well. Whether it's like
Limbo,
Rogue Legacy, even like Chariot's really fun. I know that what's the one that just came out?
Massive Chalice is cool.
Massive Chalice, that's what I was looking for. And Shovel Knight, like, there's a bunch of good stuff that you could get downloadably as well. And yeah, it is unfortunate there's not a whole lot of ENT and stuff, but I think you could find enough to keep yourself occupied.
Until and then once you're 18, like we are, then you can play anything you want.
Yeah. Ludo writes in and says, it's an interesting question. I'm going to kind of paraphrase for him. But he basically wants to know our thoughts on ratings on the ESRB, and how come, like, a game about gambling can get a mature rating when people talk about poker and gambling all the time, or like what do we think defines a mature rated game, and are we happy with the current rating system, or do we think that it's too strict?
I don't think it's too strict at all. Do you think is that a thing? It being too strict?
No, I mean I think he probably wants to play a bunch of games is what it sounds like to me. I could be totally wrong, but I think the idea that, like, anyone can handle this is again, like, that's just a thing of the times that I think is totally off base. I know for a fact for myself, like, I have policed the heck out of my younger brothers when I would play mature rated games and they were not that age. I definitely didn't let them watch. I didn't let them into the room. I still don't let Noah watch when I'm playing, the Witcher and stuff like that. And for my kids, I definitely will make sure. And I don't even know that it's because there's some, like, horror there that they're gonna see and they can't handle. Like, I hear that a lot, like, my kid can handle that. My kid could totally handle, beheadings in Assassin's Creed. My kid could totally handle the sex scenes in Mass Effect. I don't think that's what it's about, because sure, anyone can handle it. It's not like they're being, it's reaching out of the screen and, like, scaring you or ripping out your throat. But it's more about, like, what do you want that kid to be thinking about, focusing on, and putting their mind, where do you want their headspace to be? And I don't like when I see kids on the playground playing Assassin's Creed or Dead Space or Red Dead Redemption, because it's robbing them of an opportunity to sort of grow and develop.
How are they playing that on the playground?
They sure did with Noah when he was younger. Like, when he was 7, 8 years old, they were pretending to be assassins from Assassin's Creed, playing, like, Red Dead Redemption, John Marston, killing zombies.
Yeah. I mean, more important than the ESRB is what Zach is saying. Just parental policeman, or policeman isn't a word, but just parents being parents and saying like, okay, this is my child. I know what my child is like. Because my first instinct is to automatically say like, dude, let him play what he wants. Like, I think everyone has a filter of their own that they just need to like click on. But when I was young, I used to play anything I want. I used to watch anything I want. Like, I had no one watching me, so I was able to do anything.
Right.
And I was able to filter it out okay. But the thing is, back then, like, we weren't decapitating and chainsawing people in half in video games. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I was able to play what I want, but what I wanted at the time was Zelda and like, you know, stuff that now I think it's perfectly fine for a kid to play Call of Duty, like online, the multiplayer. I don't think that's like too hard for anyone, and that's mature. Like, it's such a gray area. Obviously, if I had a child, he's like anywhere younger than like 12, I'm not going to be showing him Gears of War. Like, it's not a thing. At least I'm not going to put it in front of him. But if he finds it, would I get upset if he's playing it? No. I'd say like, hey, like maybe hold off a little bit on playing that. But then I also think it's important to mold your kids to make their own choices. And of course you give a little nudge in the direction that you in your mind is right, and you want to instill that in them. But it's such a tough question.
Yeah,
I think
I'm probably on the far end of the spectrum. I mean, I don't think most kids have the wherewithal to make those great choices or to police themselves appropriately. I don't know. Like,
you got to give them a chance. Like, all right. So
I guess it depends on how you're raised, and maybe that then whatever. But for me, like, I don't know. Like, I'm all about, you know, as people know, like love and kindness and whatever. So for me, it's just like I don't think it has a place for young. I don't see like what the benefit of like a 12-year-old playing Gears of War would be. Like, what do they gain from that? Like, oh, like they got to learn about the. People say that like, oh, the real world, but it's I don't know. It's a tough question.
No, see, real world stuff like that, you do it in the real world. Like, my little brother, like I said, I take him out to these places that he maybe shouldn't be at. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, playing basketball and stuff. But I take him there. He's there with me. He's there with people I know. And, you know, he's under protection. But he's also seeing, like, hey, you don't finish school. Like, you want to, like, do stupid stuff in life and you want to get nowhere. This is where you're going to be. And he fully sees that that's not what he wants. So he, like now that's in his brain. It wouldn't have been in his brain otherwise. So I think those like real world, like, oh, he needs to, like, for games, it doesn't apply. If you want your kid to be adapted to the real world, take him out and show him, hey, if you don't finish your education, this could be your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you do what you're supposed to do. So
Joshua writes in and says, hey guys, my question is, what is your favorite handheld console and game of all time? Great podcast. I love listening every week.
Handheld only, huh?
Yeah. Which we rarely ever talk about, so I thought it was good to bring up.
Game Boy Advance.
Yes, that's a great system.
Yeah. I like Fire Emblem on there.
That's the first system I got on launch day, by the way.
What, the Game Boy Advance?
GBA, yep.
Wow.
Got that
the SP? The SP or
no, the original like wide body.
Oh, wow.
I got the Indigo one, and Jake got a Glacier White. I got Mario Bros. 2, which was Mario Advance 1. And Jake got Rayman, and then we together got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for GBA, which was fantastic. That game is a great game. I'd probably say GBA, although I think the Vita is a gorgeous system, and I really like the 3DS
just not enough. The thing is just not enough games.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
favorite game of all time? Do you have a favorite handheld game of all time?
If I could, what was Chrono Trigger ever had? Chrono Cross ever?
Chrono Trigger is on GBA.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chrono Trigger, I think.
Okay.
No, it's Chrono Cross.
No, Chrono Cross is the bad one.
Chrono
Cross is like the PlayStation crap one.
Okay, that's a shit one.
Yeah.
All right, so Chrono Trigger's dude. There's like a spiritual sequel coming, man. Woo! It's the hotness, Zachary.
I'm tempted to say Pokemon Red just because that was like my first ever handheld game, and it kind of just
Pokemon Yellow's where it's at, because that was like the more, it was a little bit, at least when I was young, like I used to go rent these at my at a mom and pop shop, and Yellow was never there. Blue and Red were always there because, hey, people finished those a long time ago. Then Yellow came around. It was the only one you could get Pikachu in, and everybody wanted Pikachu. So
you had to wait for that illustrious Yellow. I don't know if I have a favorite.
I mean, what do you think? I could just sound off a couple more cool ones. The Mario Luigi RPGs were cool. I mentioned Fire Emblem. Shout out to Mario Kart.
On GBA?
Yeah,
Super
I think
Circuit.
that was fun.
I know. Yeah. I'm gonna say Link Between Two Worlds. I freaking love that game. I adore that game.
I still sort of refuse to play it.
You're a psycho. That you would love it. It's so good.
I know I would. I'm saving it, man. I'm saving it.
All right. Andrew writes in and says, have you ever cried at a video game? Seriously love the podcast and can't thank you enough for putting an episode out every week. Have you guys ever cried when playing a video game? Personally, for me, I cried at the end of The Walking Dead Season 2 and almost cried at the beginning of Ori. If you haven't cried at a video game, give me something else you've cried at. Thanks for your awesome podcast and enjoy your day. P.S. I completely agree with Gabe saying Ori and the Blind Forest is Game of the Year. Sorry, Ghost.
Yeah. I had a lot of people come to my defense on that, by the way.
Good.
Yeah.
Tears and games.
I games don't do it to me as often.
Me neither.
I think maybe Metal Gear Solid 4, which I know it's a dumb one, but the end of that,
the microwave crawling, you're like, Snake.
The end of that sort of maybe brought one tear, if that. But movies, I cry on all the time. I'm a big baby. Like there's movies that just touch me. I cry at the Breaking Bad, right? I've seen the entire series multiple times. I cry every time I see that ending. Like I legit, I can't watch it without crying.
Yeah, games don't do it for me. Like even Walking Dead, like I got a little emotional, or I get touched in like Last of Us, but I didn't cry. But yeah, definitely like movies. Like I'm super.
Yeah.
I get super into that, and I think it's just the experience. Maybe there's something about like the big theater experience that kind of like really immerses you, whereas games like so much is going on, and you don't play them all in one sitting. At least I don't. So it's harder to build attachment.
If you want to be sad, watch Dear Zachary. I mean, if you're young, don't watch it. If you're young, please don't watch this thing. It's legitimately the most. No, it's not about you. Okay. This is the saddest thing in existence.
Wow,
Zachary. If you watch this, you will be devastated.
I'm not watching it then.
It's on Netflix. No, I don't suggest you watch it. You will be really sad.
Okay.
But if anybody has seen Dear Zachary, dude, you cannot watch that and not cry. Like, it hurts your soul every time. So, shout out to that.
Soul hurting is inbound for you, Gabe, because Liam writes in saying, I have been playing through Uncharted 3 and agree with Cody that it's overrated and boring. I had a discussion with my sister about what we thought were the most overrated games of all time. My two are Assassin's Creed 2, or sorry, my one is Assassin's Creed 2, and hers is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. What are yours?
Who's that?
Liam and his sister.
No, what's sister? Liam's sister. I will find you. I'll turn into Liam Neeson and I'll find you. Man.
Assassin's Creed 2 is the most disappointing of all time?
I don't care about
most overrated of all time? Man.
Ocarina is, God, man, that's an amazing game.
What's your most overrated game of all time?
All right, let me think on it.
I think Witcher 3 is pretty darn overrated, but
not overrated of all time.
I think GTA is the most overrated series of all time. I'll say that for sure.
I want to say Mass Effect 1. I love Mass Effect 2 and 3 a lot, but anybody that's never played the series, you can easily skip 1, and people love that thing at the time.
They did.
Like the Mako stuff is terrible in that game. The elevator stuff is terrible in that game. Like there's a lot of stuff in that game that isn't good. I'll say Mass Effect 1, maybe, but he's saying all time.
Yeah.
Like, damn. There's a lot of stuff in there.
There's a lot of games.
Yeah.
Good topic. Assassin's Creed 2 is the best Assassin's Creed. I don't get that.
Yeah, hands down. And Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is debatably the best.
I don't think Ocarina
it's a
holds
second
up.
best.
That's the hard thing.
Ocarina holds up. I just played it last week.
Yeah, it's like so obtuse though. Even like the intro sequence, like when you're going to the castle,
it's perfect.
And then you have to like get the egg from whatever her name is, Meryl or Mallory.
I don't know. Who cares what her name is? That game is awesome.
Brendan writes in saying, hello, Ketchup Fearing Gabe, Dinosaur Taming Max, and Witcher Destiny Hater Zach. Would you guys want a Splatoon or Evolve game for a handheld console? Personally, I think they would be awesome. Love the podcast. Keep it up. I think those two would make awesome handheld games.
Splatoon, yes. What are you going to put Evolve on?
The Vita.
Zach, no one cares about that game as it is. And now you're going to put it on like the least.
Would you like it?
Oh, sure, I'd like it.
Yeah, I think Splatoon on the handheld would be great. I think it would be awesome.
Splatoon, yeah, that could be cool.
A different Liam writes in and says, hello, podcast. Gosh, my voice and words.
Podcast. Ryan Seacrest took over the podcast
crew. Liam here, longtime listener and fan. My question this week is a somewhat deep one. On past podcasts, you guys have discussed violence and explicit content in games. I, too, reject the notion that violence and controversy in itself should make a game good or popular. I recently gave this more thought. Could games be used as morality lessons? I think of games where the violence is used in storytelling and used in meaningful ways. To me, The Last of Us is a perfect example. Another good example would be Spec Ops: The Line, Additionally, there is some research suggesting that committing bad video game behavior elicits increased moral sensitivity, and he lists some studies, and he wants to know if we think that video games could be used as teaching tools for morality.
Maybe. It's tough. It's tough to get video games to be taken that seriously by anyone.
Yeah.
Spec Ops is a great one, though. Another one that I was thinking about a little bit is Fallout, man, because I've been playing Fallout 3 again.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to be a jerk so bad, and I can't do it. I've mentioned this before. I just can't be a jerk in that game. It's something in me. So, but you can be a real big jerk in that game. I don't know if it can be used as like morality gauges.
I think it depends on like the person as well. Like someone could play Last of Us and be like, kill all the zombies. Yes, I win. And then someone could be like, whoa, this is really impactful. So like, I think it totally depends. It's got to have that like player game rapport going on. Like you got to build a relationship that is mutual, right? Like the person has to be sensitive enough to even take that as a potential lesson. But sure, in like an artistic sense, definitely. Like I definitely think, and plenty of games have done that. Even stuff as simple as like Papers, Please is trying to make a moral statement about, you know, history or a moral statement about this or that. And a handful of games do that. Even stuff like Gone Home, you know, and sort of that storyline.
Yeah.
You know,
was that morality? Is that more just sexuality?
Yeah, but I guess morality of like how, I guess I thought of a little bit morality of like how the people were treated and how they were reacted, how people reacted to them, and you know, kind of made me think, you know, for myself of like how I would handle the situation. Maybe morality is the wrong word. Maybe just sort of like reflection. Maybe games can cause, you know.
I mean, I hate to just even get like this like real life stuff, but morality just seems like it's going out the window in life.
Yeah.
Like, and I keep going back to the parks, but you know, I've been doing it a lot lately. Like there's maybe 17-year-old kids, you know, in high school, maybe leaving high school, 18. They just throw the N-word all over the place, and these are not black people. Like a lot of Hispanic kids just throwing it around, and there's a lot of black people around, and like they just don't care. Like I guess like too much rap music, too much like MTV or I don't know what it is. Like people are just disrespectful constantly, dude. It's so much disrespect out here, and I don't understand it, and I wish it would stop, but morality just seems like it's gone out the window. I don't understand it.
Yeah, people take things pretty far. The internet age has given people an outlet to kind of go crazy. Our final email of the day is from Pip. And Pip writes in, he is a fellow YouTuber starting up and wants to know a YouTube question of how long did it take you guys to enjoy the games you recorded rather than being stressed out and worried about commentating and recording itself? It's taken me nearly a year and a half, and I'm just starting to relax and enjoy the game while recording. Any tips or info from you guys would be great.
I don't know, man. It's complicated. I'll say that about YouTube. Like, YouTube has taken something I love and turned it into something I love less.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. But I think that's just a byproduct of what it is. Batman I still enjoyed, like, reasonably well, because I finished it in a day and a half, and I rushed more than I would have. If I wasn't playing on YouTube, I would have let space that out over, like, 4 days, 5 days maybe. But trying to get all the videos up, it takes away from the enjoyment a little bit, but you just learn to accept it. It's not even that I don't ease back into it. Not me, at least. Like, I still feel like certain pressure to, like, hey, I gotta do this, like, and try to somehow win the lottery and be on search for this game. But it's tough.
It definitely adds like an element, and I don't even know if it's like 100% good or bad, because there's something like super fun about talking during a game and like verbalizing all your thoughts and like opinions and the funny things that happen, and having like a community to share that with is like a really special experience, and it's definitely made some games much more enjoyable for me than they would have been solo. But at the same time, it's like, and I don't mean this in like a complaining way, but like anything, think about if you commentated like while you're eating, like, whoa, this donut looks really good, I'm putting it in my mouth now, oh, I'm taking the first bite, wow, that's a really great bite. It just kind of makes it weird. Or like, imagine if you commentated yourself while playing basketball or while taking a test. Like, anything that you're doing in that sort of like way, I think performance just changes it up. And there are definitely games where I'm like, man, like I would love to play. Like, I played the first couple hours of Bloodborne, like breaking news, off camera by myself first, and then went back and restarted just because I wanted to have that moment of wonder and awe by myself. And it's different, like sitting back on the couch and like just chilling, playing the game and playing for as long as you want, not worrying about, should I wrap the episode up? Are we at a good point? Should I start? I mean, it definitely does take, you have to take into account, and it does turn the tables a little bit. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I do sort of miss the opportunity to just like have a game to myself. And so I have tried to take some and do that. And like, I love playing Splatoon just like on its own without commentating. And it's different. You kind of learn to, I don't know that I was ever like stressed out by it, but it definitely took a while to like feel like it was normal.
Yeah. Good luck on your channel, by the way.
For sure. Yeah. There's a, and do know, like, if it is consistently stressful and not fun, then maybe it's just not for you. Like, it should be enjoyable regardless. Like, I still love doing this every single damn day. And if it's not, I know like YouTube is kind of like the hotness right now for everybody. And like, it's a great project and it can teach you a lot about, you know, entrepreneurialism and you know, focus and scheduling and whatnot. There's a lot of value there, and just confidence and creating something like that's awesome. All of that's really positive, but it's not for everybody. So if you're not having a good time with it and it's like hard or stressful, then I would say don't force yourself into that.
Yeah, but you know, and also keep your goals. Like, are you going to be the next Ghost Robo? Probably not. Are you going to like be the next PewDiePie? Probably not. But if you just want to carve up something small, just keep your expectations in check. Yeah. Also, like, you know, I think doing YouTube for money is a ginormous mistake, and no one should go into it with that at all, ever. If you start making money, great. But if you don't stress about it too much. Growth, especially on new channels, it's not quick. Mm-hmm. And even on channels that have been around for a while, the growth slows down sometimes. It's peaks and valleys with this YouTube thing. Like, sometimes you're just going up and you're like, man, I'm doing great. I love this. So, next month you're like, oh, what the hell's happening?
I really feel for it though, because it's such a catch-22. Because like, on one hand you want to say like, don't worry about it, don't take it too seriously, but if you like ever want it to become something, then you better take it super seriously and put out the best videos you possibly can and concentrate on quality, even if you're only getting, you know, 10 views. So it is really hard, and that's why I go back to like, you got to enjoy it, because if you're not enjoying it, then what are you doing spending 5 hours, you know, perfecting this video, or what are you doing editing all day? Like, if you enjoy it, then great, go all out and see what happens, knowing it might not, it might. But if you don't enjoy it and it feels stressful, then why take the risk? You know what I mean? Like, why put yourself through that? Because like, it sounds horrible to say, but honestly, like 90 to 95%, or maybe even more, you're probably not gonna, it's not going to turn into like a full-time thing or something. There's just so many people doing it. I don't know. That's kind of a depressing.
Yeah. And a little bit of unsolicited advice. I don't know if you said it, because you sounded very robot-y there for me for a while. But like, try to do something different. Mm-hmm. Like, doing a Let's Play, like, just like everyone else, it's damn near impossible to compete.
Yeah.
Like unless you're doing some stuff you shouldn't be doing. But there's so many people that are doing like what we do, and like, I mean, even me and Zach play the same games and we do the same type of videos. Like he's gonna appear in search before me. That's just natural, because he has a bigger channel, and there's these other channels that a lot of other factors go into it. And for Let's Plays in particular, like walkthroughs, being on search is everything. If you're not on that, like, get your personality out there, start making different videos, separate yourself from the crowd, and like I said, good luck with all that and everything. But it's tough.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. I mean, I always say creativity and consistency are like the two keys, because honestly, and I have no problem saying this, like, walkthroughs and Let's Plays are like the most common videos being done, and that's like the easiest thing for someone to jump into. But personality doesn't factor in all that much. It's a lot about search, and the few people who get lucky and are able to build a fan base, like, they're very established. So you got to think about, like, why would someone watch me over the hundreds of channels that have, you know, hundreds of thousands of subscribers or millions of subscribers? And that's not to like feel bad, but it's like, are you really able to do a walkthrough that much better than everybody else that you're going to become like the new hotness? Or do you say, hey, I'm going to carve out like a little space of what I do? Or maybe I find a way to, like, top 10 videos have been really big this year, or videos that focus on kind of like very specific games. Like, you see the channels that are all about Destiny or all about Batman or all about whatever being pretty successful. And so maybe find something you love or something that you can kind of bring your own twist to. Get more creative with it, basically, because expecting to do what everybody else is doing, like, do it for fun, great, but if your goal is like to get noticed, that's going to be so hard. Like, even for, like, I'm not going to name names, but even with people I know who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, I give them advice to stop doing walkthroughs, because you're just setting yourself up for trouble, basically. You can't control it. You really just can't, no matter how cool or awesome you are or how much time you spend. So yeah, get creative. I even tell it to my brother, like, stop the walkthroughs, just do something different. Have fun with it. And
go watch Inner Shadows. That's channel.
Inner Shadow Games.
All right, Inner Shadow Games. Go watch his The Watcher 3
I like
video.
that video.
That was very cool.
I like that video.
He did like a little parody of the Witcher 3, and I liked it a lot.
That was his best video, and had nothing to do with the walkthrough. So yeah, have fun with it. YouTube should be fun. Life should be fun. Hopefully some fun games come out. We are going to get on Rocket League. I'll give a few more impressions of Battleborn and Black Ops next week, just from playing them a second time, sort of to see if the charm stays or if that first date fantasy has worn away. Max will be back next week. And definitely keep those emails coming. Can't stop asking at gmail.com. We love to get them, and we definitely will read more of those as we soldier through the summer months. Make sure to keep leaving reviews. You can enter to win a console that we'll announce the winner of next week. Thank you guys for all the support, by the way. It's been awesome. We relaunched the feed, and so it's great to have your support. Before we get out of here, though, Gabe, I wanted to just do a quick Hype City to see if there's anything you're pumped for moving forward.
Evo.
Okay.
Evo's coming, man. Justin Wong's been tweeting all this stuff. He did I don't know, it was a GoFundMe. I think it was a GoFundMe to get a jackpot going for on top of what's already there as far as prize money for Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Okay.
He's trying to raise $15,000 extra just because like he doesn't want that game to die out. And he says, like, no, this isn't me trying to win the money. In fact, like, I can't participate in this. If I win, I won't get the money. Like, well, you know. So, like, he's not putting himself in that competition. It's not him trying to steal from people. Right. But, yeah, I donated the little bit that I could. And, like, I think it's super cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, Evo's an exciting time. Like, there's going to be the Mortal Kombat stuff, which I don't like watching as much as a Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom, damn, brain fart. But super fun time, dude. Super fun time. What about you?
Comic-Con, I'm there right now, and I haven't been in about 9 years, so I'm excited to see the monster it's turned into, because apparently it's gotten much more massive. Hopefully I can get a few exclusive Funko figures. That's my main goal, and just see all the crazy people dressed up as crazy stuff.
A couple of people from over there, Turtle Rock, they've been tweeting some stuff. You know, they're excited about something. I don't know what it is.
Maybe the new monster is going to get revealed at some point here. Dude, maybe it's the Calypso skin for Kraken. That thing is hot. My Hype City is the
that
Calypso.
Can't be a new monster.
That's my Hype City is the Calypso skin for Kraken and Evolve. Evolve all the way. We're going to evolve to 20 next week.
Nope, 19.
Oh, 19. Sorry, man.
Unless we're doing that.
Yeah,
thing
we're doing your psycho illogical random thing. No, episode 19 will be next week. Thanks for joining us as we venture into adulthood. Follow Gabe on Twitter, twitter.com/volatile Gabe, me, twitter.com/ghostrobo. Go say hi to Max, twitter.com/
I want to say something. I want to say something. I'm very close to 1,000 followers on Twitter.
Woo!
All right? I'm at 970. All right, so if 30 of you wonderful people would love to come follow me, that'd be great. Maybe we can do like a special 1,000 follower dance next week on the podcast.
All right, great. A ketchup taste test?
No.
Okay.
No.
Gotta try. Gotta get in there whenever I can. But Gabe, thanks for being here. It's been quite the cozy time with you, one-on-one here.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
And we'll be back next week. Until that time, guys, girls, have a great week. Hope you enjoyed the show. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, in the reviews, and in your emails. Can't stop asking at gmail.com once more for all of you lovely people. For us, lovely Gabe and Sleepy Zach. Till next time, we'll see you all later.
Bye-bye.